Today we're going to be talking about how to start your own homestead and how to become more self-reliant. Today I have my brother Josh with me. You all probably have seen him before. Mainly he's usually behind the camera. He does a lot of my B-roll and a lot of my filming for me. We're gonna be going over how to become more self-reliant and how to start your own homestead. So Josh actually ended up starting his own, he actually has his own YouTube channel now. And he's taken the fame that I built him. It's mine now. And he's stealing it to start his own YouTube channel.
The Art of Self-Reliance, make sure you subscribe.
The Art of Self-Reliance, subscribe to his YouTube channel. But he's gonna be going over some things with us here because he's actually started his own homestead, and I want people to realize that you don't have to be anything special. You don't have to have something specific before you start this. You just kind of just do it, and we're gonna go over some of the things that he did. We're gonna go over the 3 things that he wish he would have known before starting a homestead. So we're gonna go right into number 1, and we're just gonna let him go for it.
All right, guys. What was number 1? All right, guys, the number 1 tip here is going to be start small and try not to do too much too fast. Me and my wife, Rachel, we've been running our homestead now for 5 years, and we have nothing special. We have got no special skills or knowledge starting out. The biggest thing for us was we made the decision, we're gonna be more self-reliant, we're gonna do our thing, and we got super excited. And so we went out and we tried to do way too much, way too fast. And that ended obviously pretty poorly. Just trying to throttle yourself is gonna be really important. Setting realistic goals is going to help you succeed really in the long run. You don't wanna do too much too fast and burn yourself out. It's gonna be completely counterproductive.
So what would you say is the best animal to start with? Or
Chickens.
Best thing?
Chickens.
Chickens? Okay.
Chickens.
That's what I've heard that a lot from people.
Oh my gosh, chickens are the easiest. Laying chickens, they start with just a couple of them, and you don't need a lot of land. Chickens can be kept though in someone's backyard. Extreme benefit, and they're super easy. They don't take a lot of upkeep or work. You just have to have a coop, some kind of run so they can be out in the sunshine and exercise, and something to just keep them safe from predators.
And the biggest thing with chickens is they're inexpensive, so you can get into it fairly cheap. Obviously, you have to buy the coop instead of build the coop, and that's kind of expensive. But the chickens themselves are cheap, so if you get into it, that's a good way to start because you can kind of feel it out and see if it's even something you guys are interested in. And the kids absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. Every time our kids go over there, we have 3, Josh has 3, and they absolutely love it. All the kids will run to the chicken coop, they'll collect eggs, they'll play with the chickens and stuff. So honestly, aside from just the fact that they're awesome because you just constantly get eggs, and they get so many eggs that they give us eggs. They give grandma and grandpa eggs, so like we're always getting eggs. It's just a cool side to let the kids be able to do that, and it helps them learn a lot as well.
Before you continue on to more and more things, because there's just so much with homesteading and becoming more self-reliant. Again, me and Rach have been doing this for 5 years, and we've just scratched the surface. Like, we know nothing compared to what we want to get to. So the biggest thing for us was to just gain mastery over the skills that we were learning and not jumping too quickly to something after we just started something into something else. We got the laying chickens, and it took us over a year to get the broiler chickens, our meat chickens. And then here just last year, we got a couple of goats. So not getting everything all at once is going to be, in my opinion, just extremely beneficial as to your future success in the whole homesteading journey.
And this is all about becoming more self-reliant. With the way the world's going, the things that are happening, prices of groceries are wild. Just so becoming more self-reliant and be able to rely just on yourself to be able to feed your family and things. Because I think the word homestead almost is a little intimidating. Like you start to think like, oh, homestead, okay, you gotta have cows, you gotta have barns, you gotta have fields and pastures, and you don't have to have those things. Like obviously if you have them, it's great and it's gonna be a huge benefit for you and you're gonna have a leg up, but you don't have to have those things to become more self-reliant. It's all about finding ways to be able to provide for yourself and your family. So I don't want people just to get kind of scared by that word, because even for me, because Josh was like, you guys should start doing it, and just the word homestead, it was like, oh wow, like I don't know if I could do that. But it was super helpful and insightful being able to see them do it and their success. And that's really why I wanted to bring him on here and share this with you guys, just to say, you don't have to be anybody special. You don't have to have special skills. You don't have to have buildings and pastures. You just need the dedication and the willingness to learn and want to provide for your family.
And I tell you what, the biggest thing too for me personally is I was really into this. I really wanted to do this, and I got Rach on board, and Rach was like, let's go, we want to do this, and we got the kids and everything. And without that support of your partner and your family, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really difficult, because we had to totally overhaul our diet. We got chores every single day. So our schedule is completely changed. The biggest thing with becoming self-reliant is being able to do schooling, food, medicine, everything as much as you can on your own and not having to rely on anybody, the government, local municipalities, the grocery store, the doctor's office, things like that. Just being able to do everything as much as you can, obviously, as possible.
So we could obviously go into this a ton. I mean, we could talk about this forever. And we do. We spend a lot of time talking about this off camera. A lot of the days that we go over and stop over and hang out, this is what we discuss just because we think it's important. But we're going to go right into number 2.
Number 2 is realizing that this is not going to save you money, at all. You're gonna spend a lot.
It might cost you more money.
It's definitely gonna cost you a lot more money.
Yeah.
So, but that's just the name of the game. That is what it is. You gotta go into it with realistic expectations. When you think about homesteading and farming and being self-reliant, you're like, oh, I'm gonna save money because I'm not going to the grocery store. I'm not, doing all these different things. I'm not using the school system. I'm not using all this stuff, but I still pay taxes, pay for electricity, feed for the animals themselves, for the care for those animals if I can't do it myself.
And how many animals have you lost? I mean, we
lost
a ton of our meat chickens.
So many chickens.
Yeah, we lost a lot of them. So we lost a decent amount of money, and all that feed and all that time and feed and everything you lose predators, which kind of stinks.
And time.
Yep.
You're not going to save any time doing any of this. This is a huge time commitment. It is a big thing to realize as well, that you're going to be dumping a lot into it. They're animals. They're going to need a lot of your care and a lot of your attention to make sure that they're happy and they're taken care of well, and then they will provide for you as well.
Yep. And that can be stressful
at
times, especially with the goats. I know the goats have been stressful.
The goats like to get out. The goats like to get out a lot. I love them, but they drive me absolutely insane.
And we don't want to discourage you with this second one where it's like, oh, this is gonna be so expensive, it's gonna take all your time. It's just we want you to have realistic expectations for what this entails. A lot of people think like, oh, okay, if you do it all yourself, you're gonna save a ton of money. Not really, because you're not buying the cheap processed junk. Honestly,
that poisons your body.
Yeah, you're providing a better substance for your family and the people you care about, and that unfortunately costs a lot of money.
And you're essentially, if you think about it as that you're investing in your future health.
Yeah.
So if you put in the right things into your body, it's not going to tear down. It's not going to fall apart like it would if you normally put in junk and highly processed foods into your body.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it will start to go down as you have the pen already built, you have the fencing already done, you pasture set up, and all those little things are already finished.
The initial investment is going to be the biggest pill to swallow.
Yeah.
It's going to be the highest amount of money. But then after you get those enclosures and those pens built, it becomes a lot easier. And you kind of figure out where to get the feed. You buy in bulk. Bulk is huge. Yeah. Finding other people that you can rely on, which is actually going to roll us into the number three. So number 3 is building a community of like-minded people that also want to kind of help build your homestead. For us, it's hard to do everything.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the space for a cow, but we love the great calories and nutrition that grass-fed beef provides us. So we had to go out and meet people that also had the same goals and ideas that we did. We have honeybees. So we do bees and we have honey. But there's not a lot of people around that do. But there's others that you can trade, you can barter, you can, I have this, you have that. Let's do a swap.
Help each other out, and that you're getting still the good stuff. You're just not able to provide that for your family because you don't have the space or whatnot, but you're still able to get that good food that you want.
Right. And this is big for people that live in the city.
And another thing too with building that community is you're able to bounce ideas off. And I know you guys have a couple friends that are kind of like your mentors almost, but then they have mentors as well. Yep. And you're able to bounce ideas off and not make the same mistakes that they might have made, and it helps you improve. And you guys are mentors to us, and we've been able to do a lot. And this year, with the house build, it kind of slowed us down on where we wanted to go. But now that everything's finished with the house, our next goal this summer is to get into all this stuff, is to get the chickens and everything. And I don't have to make a million mistakes that Josh had to make or the person before him had to make, because he's going to tell me like, well, don't do that, silly. Like, this is how you do it.
We all have the same
about that
goal.
communication. Yes.
The big thing is not become discouraged, because it's so easy to become discouraged. I don't know how many times me and my wife were like, we're done. We can't do this anymore. This has just gotten just too much. But again, you're encouraged by those that are around you, your family, your community. Building that strong bond is really important.
And I highly encourage all of you to at least discuss this and look into it, because you feel better when you eat these foods. You enjoy it. It's fun. Like you build your family together because you're doing something all together. Like your kids get something to do. Chores. There's a lot of stuff. And we just kind of breezed through a handful of these. We kind of gave you a little more detail on some of them. But if you guys are looking for more information about all this, put it in the comments. We'd be glad to make a more in-depth video going over some things. We're not professionals. We're still learning as we're going. And they're doing things like freeze dryers, how to can, how to do things longer. They're doing a lot of like medicine type stuff, which is really, really cool. Finding stuff out in our own property that we have.
A lot of plants.
Yeah, a lot of plants that you just almost
you never thought
think about, and then you realize you can do a lot with. So they've been getting into medicine. So if you guys are interested in those type of videos, I'll put a link here to one of his videos. You guys can take a look and check out his channel. If you're interested, subscribe. It's a lot of really cool information that I wish we would have known earlier, honestly.
Yes.
Like, I'm glad we learned now, but I just wish we would have known earlier and we're able to get into this sooner. All right, guys, hopefully this video was able to help you make a decision if this is something you want to pursue. Again, the word homesteading can be a little intimidating, and I don't want you to think, oh man, I don't want to do it just because I don't have the ability. You do have the ability. It's all about using your resources and the things that you have. So hopefully these 3 tips were helpful. If you guys are looking to help out the channel and things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that down in the description. There are some discount codes from companies that I personally trust, and there's a link to my link tree. Anything you use using those links does help out the channel a ton, and I appreciate that. Liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all those things help a ton, being interactive. Definitely take a look at Josh's channel. They're just starting, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And I really look forward to seeing what they do with their channel here in the future. Other than that, guys, thank you so much. A couple companies support me in the channel. Things I do here: Brownells, Howitzer, and Hold It Display. Hold It Display makes the racks behind me. Howitzer makes the amazing clothes that we have. Me and Josh actually modeled their stuff. You'll see a picture of me and him modeling. And then Brownells, use code TA10 to save 10% off $150 or more. Other than that, thank you all. I appreciate you all.